What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel.
All right, position battles wage across the nation in every camp, including the premier program in the country at Alabama. And Dylan Moses is one of the premier players at his position in the country, but he needs some help.
Needs some help. Mark. Dylan Moses returns as a junior inside linebacker from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 5-star in the 2017 class. And last year, led the team in tackles with 86, had 10 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, was a finalist for the Butkus Award, a guy that brings a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of experience. But behind him, this was the first time in the Nick Saban era where that inside backer position, kind of a weakness in terms of guys not having enough reps on the field in terms of game experience. Now, there is talent. Brandon Alaquejo is back, coming back as a true sophomore from Reno, Nevada, at 6'1", 224 pounds. Did a lot of things on special teams this past year, but has got to get in that rotation where playing linebacker is concerned. Then you have Joshua McMillan, a redshirt senior who came to the 2015 class out of Memphis, Tennessee. One of the older guys on this group, but still doesn't have a lot of experience. And then you have Jalen Moody, Markel Benton, Shane Lee, a number of just different guys that you got to get them reps. You've got to see what can they bring to the table, and can you trust these guys in what they bring to the table. So Dylan Moses is the bona fide leader. He is the guy at inside linebacker, but now it's on Nick Saban, it's on defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach Pete Golding to see who's the next guy we can trust to take a lot of that pressure off Dylan Moses. We know he can run this defense. We know he is the engine that gets this thing going, but can we find somebody behind him to take some of that pressure off of him?
As you mentioned, not much of a track record on the field on game day for any of those guys, including Moody and McMillan. McMillan with 14 tackles last year. As you mentioned, this is his last go-around with the Tide. A similar situation at free safety, or Xavier McKinney, and then a whole list of guys that could step up and join him in the backfield.
Oh, absolutely. In the secondary, Xavier McKinney playing that strong safety role. Had a big year last season, 74 tackles among the team leaders in pass breakups with 10, if I'm not mistaken, and a guy that was very much so frustrated in the national championship game against Clemson, where the guys were called in the wrong spots. The Clemson offense did a great job moving the football in. You know, Ed is a very passionate, very intense, very hard-nosed guy. And with him anchoring that strong safety spot, you look at the free safety role with Deontay Thompson departing to the National Football League. There is a 5-man battle going for the spot. The 5 guys in question, you look at Jarrett Maiden, Daniel Wright, Eddie Smith, 3 guys already on campus, and then 2 guys that will come in the summer as freshmen, DeMarco Helms out of Maryland and Jordan Battle out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now, in a perfect world, Mark, I would love to see Daniel Wright take the spot. The reason being, he's 6'1", 195 pounds, tremendous range, another kid out of the Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. The issue with Daniel Wright is he's got to be in compliance with Nick Saban. Got to Saban's doghouse quite a bit last year, and then had to repair a torn labrum in his shoulder, only played 4 games. In a perfect world, Daniel Wright would be the guy. In a reasonable, rational world, Jarrett Maiden would be the guy, the senior out of Texas at 6 feet, 197 pounds, a natural thumper. Can he become a better coverage guy? Remains to be seen. But a freshman to watch out for, they could pass up both guys, Mark. Keep your eyes on Jordan Battle out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Florida, the 4-star. This young man at 6'1", 6'2", about at 195 pounds, got better each and every year during his high school tenure, and he's got range like nobody's business. Can cover, can defend, has an eye for kicking off different pass patterns. And with Alabama bringing in the likes of Charles Kelly to work with the safeties, and seeing how Kelly was able to mold Derwin James, Tavares McFadden, Jalen Ramsey, and Lamarcus Joyner at Florida State. Kelly's got an eye for talent. It's a five-man battle at that free safety spot. In a perfect world, Daniel Wright. In a realistic world, Jared Maiden. But keep your eyes on the freshman coming in, Jordan Battle.
And of course, as you mentioned, Battle coming from one of the fine football producing high schools in the nation at St. Thomas Aquinas. With Maiden, he racked up 17 tackles in limited time last year. And I also see where Daniel Wright, you mentioned his limited playing time, but in a perfect world, if he can clean up his act and do some of the right things that he needs to do, more so in his conduct and approach to the game, with very limited playing time, but all racked up 2 pass breakups just in that limited playing time.